Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 10th of August, 2022, and a lot has gone on just in the past 24 hours. I'm not even remotely up to speed on everything just because I've been looking at a lot of research pertaining to this like flat holographic Earth, reality that I'm seeing. And so, if I ever want to do podcasts or interviews or talk with people, this is stuff that I've been looking at for years. But now that I'm more like open about so much stuff, right? Since the beginning of the year, out of sleeper mode or whatever you want to say, I'm more vocal about this stuff. And so I started slow. So anyone that's watching this, I don't know if I've directly reached out to you personally with with a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. And if so, and it's annoying, sorry, but it's just it's irrefutable evidence now, right? And so a lot of the resistance that I get is with mostly with the more intellectual types, right? And it doesn't surprise me because once you're more specialized and unique in your skill sets, then with that confidence and that ego and excuse me, and trying to wrap your head around all of this science, you know what I mean, and research and stuff that you know what I mean, or that you think you know, for that to be completely dismissed, not dismissed, but discredited or seen for what it actually is, which is just a distraction and a way to manipulate and control us, then it's a lot to handle, right? And so when you are someone like me that has dealt with a lot of harsh realities throughout my life, this stuff doesn't really impact me as much, right? And so I've always been one to question rules and question societal norms and question textbooks for various reasons. And I said because it did start young, because even my brother, he was a teenager, and he corrected advanced mathematics books, and it blew me away. So it didn't make sense to me, so even throughout my studies through elementary school and beyond, I questioned things. And it doesn't make you get 100% on history or things when you're just oh my god, this is not even remotely true. But anyway, on that note, so all this stuff that's going on, sorry, I still got all that distraction in the background with the explosions and heavy machinery and dogs, and anyways, it is what it is. So just in the past 24, there's someone I know personally, and I've done work with on standing rapid deployment team courses and such, which are elite courses where we train other elite people and unique organizations into different deployments throughout the world, and just being the first on the ground to make assessments, reconnaissance, and establish contacts and do those things. Excuse me, and affect immediate response. And so this person oftentimes use people that are still serving military or law enforcement, or so many other different things, CBSA, firefighters, business owners, bodybuilders, models, NASCAR drivers, and the list goes on. I got a list of role players that I have used for various different training scenarios, but because of my stance on everything that's been going on the last few years, I haven't been teaching these courses, even though I'm still reaching out to these people on a regular basis and telling them about the lies and the misinformation, and they're not wanting to hear it, and they're ghosting me, or they're blocking me, or they're being or they're harming, not harming me, but they're saying awful things, right? Or trying to get cops involved in my life because they think that I'm a concern, you know what I mean, or lying about me, which is the big one too, right? And all things that are validated and confirmed that I'm innocent. And then even people coming to my home late at night, and I don't know if it was an assault or a murder attempt, and this is all verifiable. And so just not opening my primary door, obviously, for anyone, because I'm a single woman and I have been for most of my life, and I'm very cautious. But then when I wasn't gonna let them in, they looked around, they looked guilty, they ran off, and for over 2 hours they were circling my block. And I've dealt with this stuff before too, right? Even when I went to the Yukon with my dogs, just literally April, May timeframe. like in Saskatoon, there was a guy in the middle of the night. I had driven like a ridiculous amount of hours that day, like 15 hours through, like, I'm not even joking, through like snowstorms, rainstorms, single lane highway, like in the middle of freaking nowhere, and there's like a lot of wind because of the center of the world, like toroidal field, freaking things that go on in the area as you cross, and yeah, and and a guy, yeah, banging on my door. I had just fallen asleep. I wasn't feeling all that well, and I was with the dogs. They were losing it, and this guy was trying to get in for 10 minutes, and I'm like, no, mother puncher. And I'm like, this is not a good idea for you. And so, like, I had, like I always carry a knife, you know what I mean? At the very least, it's a utility knife, too, especially that I like, and I have a buck knife, too, but, like, the one I like has, like, a fire starter on it, as well as, like a knife sharpening part to it, like, or I can use rock and stuff like that too, obviously, but like, yeah, it's just a good one. But like, I had my dogs who are like not the most aggressive dogs in the entire planet, but like I feel like if I was in a threatening situation, like, I'm assuming they may or may not, like, try to defend me, so who knows. But anyway, yeah. And so I deal with this stuff a lot more than like people would believe. It's insane. But where was I going with that? The Yukon safety stuff. So yeah, go on these weird ass tangents. I'm getting a roof tent on my Jeep installed next week with an awning and an annex, so that'll be more mobile when I go to places, when I do road trips and stuff like that with the dog. So I'm really excited about that. And oh yeah, okay. So these people that I've been trying to talk to about so many different things, and then like not only resisting me, but like also like, or shutting me out and not hiring me for contracts or work that I would like that would benefit them and me, obviously, too, but certainly benefit them. I'm getting more of the reality on the ground of things, but just completely shut me out. But like now Ottawa Police services here, like local, I'm Ottawa, someone I know personally, again, and work with, she is responsible for covering up like 28 or 29 investigations that were caused by the therapeutic that was introduced into society in the last couple of years. Children under the age of 5 that died because of this, and her covering up. Someone I know personally too, and this was what infuriates me too, because she actually knows someone else that I know, who I can't say too much of a description about, but like he not jabbed for a reason too through this whole thing, and still serving. But like I've tried reaching out to him for the past couple of weeks, but like things got really sketchy internally, so like we had to like break comms for a bit, and that happens a lot too, right? But like now I know why, because of what just came out in the media, like literally just yesterday, is that this girl was at OPS. She's a serving member, and she is responsible for assisting in covering up that many deaths with her investigations. And I was saying this with these people, and so is my other friend that like works with her as well and knows her. But on the other side, on my side, right? And he was dealing with so much stuff, harassments and threats, and like leave without pay, and like all this other nasty stuff, like even divorce stuff on the table, and weight gain, and like because of stress, right? And like all this other stuff, and like just like feeling like this whole time, like just going through these highs and lows, and like just like not knowing if it's a good idea or not, like, and just to like just do it just like everyone else is doing it, and then like anyways, it's a tough thing. And then but he was telling me, right, like that his own, right, this is what I mean when I'm talking about people were risking their lives and their careers and stuff like that. This is the stuff I'm talking about, right? So like he was resisting in the same freaking team or department or whatever you want to call it, two very, very different people, right? And he's not even like from Canada, right? And defending us more, like at a huge loss and a lot of suffering in the last 2.5 years. I know that a lot of people like took this well, and that's great, but there were people, the ones that were trying to resist things, and internally knowing what was going on with a lot of this stuff and trying to share this information, and it just not being listened to. It's been torture. I'm not gonna lie sometimes. And so, but I guess a bit of a vindication for him, because like I guess more and more stuff is going to be released in the next few weeks, to show just how much of injuries and deaths and profit margins and all this stuff were being covered up, because it was a lot. And that's what I'm saying, 29 investigations, that's one person. And I'm saying, like, when people are telling me for like years or months, you know what I mean, that there's like all of these injuries and stuff like that, and that the media is lying. Like, I'm watching CBS and they're lying, and CTV and Global, and our leaders and these philanthropists and all these people that people just like put on these pedestals. And we're not supposed to have false gods, right? Like, that's the, like, a sin, right? And so this is again, like, when we idolize people, it's sin. Anyway, and I don't know what's going to come out with that, but like, I'm assuming jail time, and likely for many people too, right? Because a lot of people profited from this, and people like me were emailing scientific, medical, and government data that was leaked to me, or that I'd done my own research on and found myself, because of my work experience and stuff like that, and then just being completely dismissed. And it's not because I think I'm anything good. It's because like we were harming and continuing to harm people, and oh yeah, and even CBS, they just retracted again in the last 24 hours this documentary that they did that just proved just how corrupt things are in Ukraine, and how it's been like this for many, many years. And even this like staged coup in 2015 was just a small part of it. And they're saying and admitting that like at least 70% of the funds, the billions of dollars that even Canadian suckers are giving to the Ukraine, are not even going for this war effort, right? And now in August, like August 10th, when it started in like February or whatever, they're like, oh, now they're gonna look at like the funding and giving more to the front lines and stuff like that. What they did do though is that they gave a lot of like military equipment. So what they were saying was, like, since World War II, like this has been like the largest like amount of like machinery or equipment or whatever, in one area for one staged event that is causing the death and harm and suffering of so many people, right? And keeping us distracted and divided during this time as well. And so CBS aired this, and then many people retweeted this, couldn't believe that they would actually admit this. And I have a documentary on it, right? Finally tells the truth, like was like a lot of people's slogans, right? And then it was taken down immediately, right? Because like, who owns our media? It's these controllers, right? These elitists. And if they get any whiff of like the reality or the truth, then we can't have that, right? Because if we can't handle the truth, we're just too dumb. We're just brainwashed little puppets. Like, come on. Oh, anyway, I get so infuriated with this stuff. And so that's big news too, right? And so like 70% of the funds going to elitists, and like in Ukraine. So like these like warlord types, because it's not like the same system of government or system of like anything that we think it is. It's very different, and their views even on our views are again drastically different. And yeah, so it's a shame that CBS finally was going to air something and then had to take it down because they're puppets, and it sucks. And even with this, and another thing with carbon tax, this was even a few years ago. I was saying that this is ridiculous, and why? Because of Canada, like we could do absolutely more, and we could tell a lot more of the truth, so that people could be a little bit more mindful of how much they're impacting our contained environment. But like, no, like people don't profit from that. But carbon taxes, like a few years ago when they put out the budget, I think it was like 80% of the budget was for salaries for people. So even like, so carbon taxes, like, and stuff like this doesn't go where you think it's going. And so like, if 80% of the budget for carbon taxes is going to go on like people's salaries, like you know what I mean, and then there's travel, and then there's assessments, and then there's equipment and resources. So this is so like ineffective too, right? And so what we can do is we can manage our own budget better, and then not have ridiculous fake ass taxes, you know what I mean, that just are these social justice warriors who cause more harm and damage to the earth and us than any one of us combined, right? Like, they eat a pee-pee. Like, yeah, anyway, I just get so frustrated with these people. Earth is a flat holographic reality. I've been attaching links to data that people can, look at before harassing me in the comment section. Because if you think that I wasn't a believer in globe Earth at one point in my life, then you would be wrong. And it was only after finally, like, things never made sense to me too, right? So like, I could be, I wouldn't say OCD because that's an actual condition, but I would say that I'm very like attention to detail oriented. And so oftentimes when people say something to me or I don't know something, I will literally stew on this and I get distracted, right? Like, my brain is it just goes until I'm able to get like an accurate assessment of what's going on, because it doesn't make sense to me. And this is even like when I'm like I have advanced interview and interrogation techniques, and I can make assessments on people based on so many different assessments. And when they say things that I like that I can see are not true, that's also something that like makes me have to question things more. You know what I mean? Or I drop it. You know what I mean? It depends on the day, right? But like anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, and so it was only questioning things and like and looking at like the science and the mathematics and seeing that like there's like there can't be a curve, because like not only are people admitting that, but like anyone that's did any kind of research or experiments, there's thousands online now. And again, I could attach them on my links, my description box again, so just click the link. It's gonna take a long time. Like some people take years to like process like a lot of the information, because it is a lot. But I mean, if you're justifying and like defending something that you know like almost nothing about, then I'm gonna challenge you to like tell me like how fast does the world rotate? How fast is the moon? What are the revolutions? What is the axis angle? Like how is there this curve? At certain distances when people are seeing well beyond that. Like there's just there's so many things that you like that people that I ask questions about they know nothing about, and I'm like, cool, you're defending it, and not only are you defending it, but you're calling me out on like what you're considering incorrect information, when I'm actually giving you facts based off of research that I've done, or research that other people have done and shared, or based off of like old data, or people admitting this stuff. And even within government, and I've said this before too, like they base all of their stuff on a stationary plane too, right? So like even like this Earth spinning thing too, there's just too much to unpack, and for someone like me, it would not serve you as well as someone like Eric Dubé, or like the Flat Earth Sun Moon Clock app, like YouTube channel with I forgot what the guy's name is. But he's also someone that's very, very good at articulating like the science and stuff like that behind this flat holographic Earth. And but yeah, like even the conditioning has been going on for like hundreds, if not thousands of years. And even with Huxley and Brave New World, that was controlled opposition, that was brainwashing. And Darwin, he was like one of the richest men in London. You know what I mean? And also like controlled opposition, like a liar. And so the theory of evolution, as we are led to believe it is not true. And if we would understand that there's been some kind of like possible genetic engineering going on, because there's a lot of biolabs that are very old in design too, but that are all over the world, but especially in places that we're not able to go, like Antarctica, then people, I guess, are going to still believe that we come from monkeys, even though we have like a lot of like similarities too within our genetic coding with like other species as well, right? So it's not just monkeys, people. Come on. And what else was I going to say about stuff about the compasses too, flight paths, ship paths? It makes more sense on a flat plane, and we've never we've circumnavigated like east to west, but we've never done it north to south. Never. There's a reason for that. There's just so many things to talk about. Like anything that rises, it's only able to do that. Like if things are like less dense than the space that it's occupying, and then it falls down. If not, and that's also only possible in a contained environment. I was talking about the news. So CBS, carbon tax, OPS, so many things that I could touch on more, but I think I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful day.